key frameworks like transparency and accountability. So we have 3 Facebook pages. We have a new website which we updated because the other one did not provide good information. We have a monthly newsletter that is generated based on complaints that we get from the township. That's what generates that. We have an annual newsletter that is probably 14 to 16 pages that is sent to every single resident in the township. We have a staff that is available by phone, and then also email. I heard that people feel it's unfortunate that you have to file right to know requests to get anything out of this township, and nothing could be further from the truth. You just have to pick up the phone and call.
Bev Jordan says they're transparent. Are we? Let's take a look. All right, I'm going to pull up my notes here and just kind of go over some of the things that the board just presented to us. They said we have a Facebook page. We have 3 of them. We have newsletters that come out annually and monthly. We're available by phone. You don't have to put in a lengthy records request. And this is demonstrative of our transparency. And what I'm saying, and I hope members of the board are actually taking the time to watch this and to listen to this, because I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm really not. It is some transparency, but it's a polished version of what you want to send out to the public to see. Transparency is the raw materials. We want access to the actual public records, right? And I'm aware we can put in public records requests now, and hypothetically we get those, but it's a damn fight a lot of times. We want open and well documented meetings, right? Which you guys are good about announcing your meetings ahead of time. We know when they are, but we want them recorded, to be honest. And I know that you're working on that, and that's great. I'm not even going to fault you on it. I'm not even going to hit you up on it, but that's great. That's what we want. We want you to accept public input, and we want clear agendas so that we can give you meaningful public input. You guys have heard the citizens complaining for months that the agendas are so vague, and public comment on agenda items is at the very beginning of the meeting, that a lot of these items the public can't really meaningfully comment on because we have no idea what you're going to talk about or what the item is about, right? You hear the people say that, and you sit there and don't say anything. And you don't have to say anything, but when another meeting comes and goes and you still haven't said anything about what the public is asking for, and another meeting has come and gone and it still goes unaddressed, you have to understand that's where you're losing us. That's where you're losing us. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a clip from the May Board of Supervisors meeting where they're talking about the future of live streaming in West Deer, and they're going to be using Zoom Pro, which is fantastic. It's a great tool. And how are they going to manage users that are connecting to it? Let's listen.
You record it through Zoom using a laptop. We could use a system kind of like what we mentioned Richland uses, where people register for that during the meeting, so they get a live feed. Anybody who registers gets a live feed during the meeting. That's the live streaming aspect of it. And then that device in the AV closet.
So he goes on to talk about how they would restrict access. You have to have a link. In order to get the link, you got to email the township, and they will send that out to you. And then those people will be able to remotely access the live stream. You may not be able to comment if you're participating remotely. They talk about, how there have been issues in the past with people spamming calls that are public, and a lot of those problems that happened during the pandemic have been resolved, where it's not easy to just go in there and be a huge disruption, right? You go into this meeting. If I was running this meeting, if you joined, you're going to join auto muted, right? So nobody will be able to hear you until such time that I call on you to speak, and then I will invite you to unmute. It's just not hard to manage. And it's certainly not worth putting another barrier between the public being able to participate in government and them being silenced from participating in government, right? Okay. So this is in Lamarck, Texas, and I've been watching their public meetings for about 4 or 5 months because there have been some, other issues going on in that community that I've been keeping track of. But for the purposes of this meeting, I want you to understand they are live streaming via Zoom. They allow participation and public comments from people remotely. And let's just see how that kind of works out.
First one is Carl Beard. Welcome, Mr. Beard. Name and address for the record, please.
Yes, Carl Beard, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Yes, how you doing today? I want to address the Lamarck Police Department. Probably about 3 years, me and other members of the community have tried to lodge complaints against a certain councilman that's actually sitting up on your dais right now.
So I like this one because, I'm not sure that that's his real name. I'm definitely sure that's not his real address, but they allow him to speak because he has something to say about this community and his interactions with this community. And I just thought that was pretty cool as far as open transparency is concerned. And now what you're going to hear, and that's this same meeting, is a member of the public coming up to in person to make public comment to the board here. And by the way, I didn't mention this before. The guy in the middle is Mayor Keith Bell, I believe. He's amazing. He's just a great moderator of these meetings. I really like how fair he is and kind of his stance on transparency overall. Let's give it a listen.
He's not my friend, he's my councilman. But when you sit right there and don't mute somebody talking bad about the man, because you've always said, address us as a council. And you let people get up here and call him out by name. And that's flat wrong. If you won't let him do it to nobody else, you shouldn't let him do it to him. Thank you.
All right, so he just complained that people are calling in and he doesn't think that they should be allowed to say negative things about the council person. They should be muted. All right, and now we're going to hear from Mayor Bell, and he's going to tell us what he thinks about people making negative comments towards his council. Is he going to have a problem with it?
You know there will be a point of information. Mr. Holcomb, I'm coming back with a point of information.
I'm ready to hear it.
Do you understand the Constitution? Do you understand that we all have free speech?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that these are rules that we're asking you to follow?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that this does not trump the Constitution? Do you understand that ultimately
Yes,
people can say what they want in 3 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're straight. Thank you.
That's a leader. Have you ever heard anybody in our council meetings in recent history say something like that? Say, people are critical of us sometimes, but they're allowed to say it. And you know what he's holding up? He's holding up Robert's rules, right? And West Deer adopts the same rules a lot of communities do, that are just general guidelines for conducting your meetings, but they don't trump the Constitution. You can say what you need to say. That's guaranteed under the First Amendment. You're allowed to redress grievances with your government. You're allowed to say them, and we're not going to mute people for saying things that we disagree with. And the last thing I'll show you really quickly is their meeting minutes. So here's their April 28th meeting that we were just looking at. Here's a link to their Zoom that everybody can just go and get. Here's a link to their YouTube page and the exact link to where the link will last for forever going forward. And there's all the agenda items that you can go and read about and understand before coming to the meeting. So I know that's something that's people are talking about and having issue with, is that our meeting minutes are so generic we can't even comment on them. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that quick comparison. I mean, there's more here to talk about, which we can do at a later time, but I think that's good for now. There's some room here for us to improve. I think if they open their eyes and look around, they'll see that, comparatively speaking, we're not really that transparent yet, right? And it would be great, Westier Township, it would be great if you took the initiative on actually giving us transparency, as opposed to us having to claw and beg for it, right? Don't show me a Facebook page and a newsletter that has some informational stuff on it. Show me something where you're willing to post saying, hey, we made a mistake here. Recently our police department made this arrest and it was the wrong thing to do, and we wanted to just say I'm sorry to Mr. Blah 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 for making him have to go to jail for something he shouldn't have had to. Whatever. That's transparency. That's transparency, and that fosters a relationship with your community of trust. So that's what you should be striving for. That's what we're doing. We're not trying to give you guys a hard time, or at least I'm not. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I want to see you succeed, and I want you guys to be doing things the right way. So that's what I have to say about that. So I'll talk to you next time. See you later, guys.